We're saying, do you think parents disrespect their children? Do children deserve respect from their parents? Is it possible for parents to disrespect their children? And then if your answer is yes to that, in what ways do parents disrespect their children? I know that some people will be asking the question, what age are we even looking at? When you say children, what age are we looking at? Now, we're not even looking at their age. We're looking at them as human beings.
Yep.
Right?
Whether 1 year, 2 months.
We're looking at them as human beings because we believe that they have feelings, right?
Yep.
And at some point, they start having opinions. They start sharing what they want and what they don't want. But it becomes... you not okay, I think I would leave that part so that I don't be misunderstood.
No, let me even just buttress that with the fact.
Okay.
All right. The truth is, children and young people have the same general human rights as adults.
I mean, I know that there's some principles, right? Moral principles that should guide.
Yeah.
Especially when the child is not yet an adult. But there are also ways that you can show disrespect to that child where that they don't even they feel less of themselves. Remember yesterday I talked about how that some adults today are suffering from childhood trauma because they faced some kind of disrespect from their parents.
That's right.
I know when we say disrespect, I know it comes off so heavy. I remember yesterday someone was saying that why do we use the word respect for children, that we should use regard. Now, respect is simply regard, right? It's simply regard.
So I don't understand why you're saying regard.
We all want children.
Yeah.
Gonna do this that parents used to violate children because they want to take advantage because it's a kid. The children of these days, I would say they are computer age. Even some of them, even my little kid, they're just 3 years old. If you send them to get you, so they'll say, Mom, just telling me to get on, you can't even say please. You know I was trying to read before you sent me on an errand. I will say, oh, sorry, honey. Please just do this for me. Hello?
Hi.
So, with that, they all will be happy. And then they say, oh, Mom just tell me thank you.
Aww.
Mom just say God bless you. Because they even right now, they're on holidays. Before I send it, I'll say, can you please excuse me? I just want to tell you to help me get this. Okay, Mom. When they come to and say, you'll not be looking at me, I'll say, oh, thank you, honey. And they all understand. So for me, I felt children need to gain their own respect. Gone are the time of us. Our parents will just give us a knock on the head and say, go and do this.
It's one of the ways that you can show respect and regard to children is using kind words to them. And, she just said that now. So it made a lot of sense.
A lot of sense. I mean, just going back a bit and remembering how, oh my God, when you are being flogged for in case you would do something, that kind of thing. Like,
the future.
Like
future flogging.
They want to warn you. Your mom wants to warn you about not doing something. Say, come here. You say, this day, actually, there was this day, it was just a normal thing. My uniform was, my mom wanted my uniform to always be neat and all that. So one day my mom came to, I came back from school and then my friend's uniform was, torn and all. And my mom just called me and said, come, you see that boy's uniform? The day your uniform will ever look like that, I will beat She was already beating me. She was already beating me to warn me that if your uniform ever looks like that boy's own,
it has not.
I call it slap. I say, yes, ma'am, I will not. With my ear, pull my ear. So,
on this issue of parents respecting their children, excuse me, hello, sir, hello, ma, respect, bawo, in Nigeria. It says, growing up, my parents see everything you say as childish, even though sometimes my dad calls family meeting. But after my dad has given instruction and you have an opinion, them no born you well to challenge his decision, except you can feed yourself. Anyways, now that I'm a grown-up working and living alone and taking care of my aged parents, they respect me so much now because my dads assume since I'm making money, then I now have sense.
Wow.
It says there were times when my mom would still want to interfere in my affairs with disrespect. I simply blocked her line and she started apologizing, but now she has stopped that. Okay.
Okay.
It says, my parents used to cane me frequently. My dad was always angry. It was like he carried his anger from home back home, from work back home. They flogged me to do assignment, flogged me to do something I already knew how to do. I started tiptoeing, not knowing what to do to avoid cane.
Yeah.
I ended up becoming timid with low self-esteem. I didn't forgive myself easily when I make a mistake. Sometimes I even hated myself for it. I am
Wow.
still learning to come out of this situation. Now, this is the real issue here.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, what we don't see is the repercussion of the disrespect that we
Disrespecting
give
children, yeah.
to our children. That's what we don't see. Sometimes we tend to replicate ourselves on our children. We try to enforce our own selves on our children, forgetting that they are individuals born with different gifts, different destinies, different lives, and that should be respected, right? That's the angle we're even looking at this conversation. Sometimes we try to project ourselves on our children, forcing them to be who they are not, right?
Yep.
When they make a mistake, rather than you correcting in love, it's more or less you are telling them that you have failed
You can make it.
woefully, and that is interpreting in their brain, and
Yeah.
that child will grow up as an adult being scared to make mistake, right? And that's not a good life skill.
That's right.
That's not a good life skill to teach a child. Mistakes do happen.
Yeah.
It's for you to know, okay, right, I've made a mistake, what next? All right, just
That's
like we
right.
said earlier, you dust the rust off your body.
You know,
I don't
and
want to
make
make
some
a
money.
joke out of that, but yes.
But it is indeed.